Most people think intimidation comes from being loud, aggressive, or physically imposing, but psychology suggests something much stranger. Some of the most intimidating people barely speak. They don't demand attention, yet when they enter a room, people suddenly become more careful with what they say. If you've ever been called cold, hard to read, or noticed people acting differently around you for reasons you couldn't explain, these 7 signs might reveal exactly why. Intimidation isn't always about fear. Sometimes it's simply what happens when your presence quietly signals confidence, emotional control, or unpredictability. Let's start with the most misunderstood sign. Sign 1. People explain themselves without you asking. Have you ever noticed people defending their choices around you, even when you never questioned them? People instinctively justify themselves around those they perceive as high status, highly competent, or difficult to impress. The intimidation isn't caused by anything you said. It's created by what they assume you're thinking. Maybe a co-worker suddenly over-explains why they arrived late. A friend gives you a 5-minute justification for a purchase you didn't even notice. Or someone laughs nervously while giving excuses. You never accused them of anything. Yet, they feel an unconscious need to earn your approval. If this happens occasionally, the next sign goes even deeper. Sign 2. Silence around you feels different. Most people are terrified of dead air. They rush to fill silence with small talk. Intimidating people don't. Comfort with silence signals emotional regulation. People relying on constant talking become uncomfortable around someone who doesn't need validation. Notice what happens in conversations with you. Do interactions slow down? Do others talk frantically to fill gaps, revealing personal information they never intended to share? This isn't about refusing to speak just to be difficult. It's about not speaking simply because silence feels awkward to someone else. You own the pause, unnerving people who are used to constant noise. But how do you know if your silence is actually influencing them? Sign 3. People watch your reactions before speaking. Humans are incredibly social creatures. We constantly scan influential individuals for approval cues. This happens completely unconsciously. Imagine sitting in a meeting. A group laughs, and several people immediately look toward you, or someone changes their wording mid-sentence after catching a slight shift in your expression. Your reaction quietly shapes the entire room's social hierarchy. You are the emotional anchor. They seek your baseline. But influence isn't exactly the same as intimidation. Influence is wanting approval. Intimidation is when your lack of a reaction makes them panic. The next sign explains exactly when it becomes both. Sign 4. Your calm makes emotional people uncomfortable. Strong emotional regulation often creates a jarring contrast. Highly reactive people can interpret calmness as judgment, even when absolutely none is intended. Imagine a situation where someone raises their voice. You stay entirely composed. Instead of calming down, they become even more defensive and agitated. Here is the key insight. Emotional control often feels threatening to people who rely on emotional pressure to get their way. Your calm strips them of their usual power. Pause for a second. Look closely at the list so far. Have you noticed that absolutely none of these signs involve dominance, physical aggression, or actively trying to look powerful? That's because genuine presence rarely announces itself. It doesn't have to. It simply changes how other people behave when they enter your orbit. True intimidation is quiet. Now, here is the sign most people completely miss, and it has to do with how quickly people make up their minds about you. Sign 5. People either respect you immediately or avoid you entirely. A remarkably strong presence tends to polarize a room instantly. Confident individuals often appreciate a strong presence. They gravitate toward you. Insecure individuals, however, interpret quiet strength as direct competition. They might keep their distance or act passively hostile. You might notice you rarely have lukewarm acquaintances. People either quickly become loyal allies or steer clear of you entirely. This doesn't mean everyone dislikes you, and it certainly doesn't mean you are doing something wrong. It simply means your presence forces quicker, more intense judgments from everyone. You act as a mirror, reflecting their own level of security back at them. Sign 6. You don't rush to impress anyone. The people who seem the absolute hardest to impress usually aren't trying to impress anyone else. A reduced need for external validation signals unshakable self-confidence. People interpret this independence as high standards. Think about your everyday behavior. You don't oversell your achievements when meeting someone new. You don't interrupt conversations to prove you're the smartest person in the room. You don't chase the room's attention or laugh at unfunny jokes just to fit in. Ironically, by absolutely refusing to chase attention, you attract far more of it. People are mesmerized by someone entirely content in their own skin. And this leads us to the final sign, which isn't actually something you do at all. It's something other people keep telling you. Sign 7. People say you're intimidating before they know you. Labels like, "You're intimidating," "I thought you'd be incredibly unfriendly," or "You seemed hard to approach," often reflect first impressions rather than reality. People naturally fill gaps in information with their own assumptions. Quiet confidence can easily be mistaken for arrogance by someone who feels socially vulnerable. You've probably had this exact conversation. Someone gets to know you and admits they were nervous, only to realize later how approachable you are. They built a fortress around you in their mind. Sometimes the intimidation never existed in your actions or intent. It existed entirely in their expectations and their own self-doubt. Let's recap. Presence isn't about making people afraid. It's about communicating confidence before you even speak. People don't always react to who you are. Sometimes they react to what they imagine you might be. The strongest presence rarely announces itself. Others reveal it through their behavior. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these signs have you experienced the most? Or have you ever been told you were intimidating, even though you weren't trying to be? Let us know in the comments below. Your personal stories are what make this community great. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.